Hi, this is Sherry. Welcome to my journey in clay. Today I want to go over some ideas that I had that didn't work out as I expected. Some I learned from, and a few items where mistakes were made, and I want to show you those to maybe help you prevent them in the future too. So I'm going to start with this plate here. This plate is not perfectly round. You can see it's slab made, but then I threw a ring for the bottom of it to give it some elevation. When I bisque fired it, the ring came off when I picked it up out of the bisque fire. So I tried to put it back on when I glazed it and fired it. I had a choice. I could have left it off and then sort of sanded the bottom and just had a flat plate, but I just didn't think it was worth that. So I put it back on, tried to get it on as close as possible to how it was originally. Anyway, it did not work. Don't know if you can see, maybe I'll post a picture after I make this, but there's a little line here that you can see. The glaze doesn't, sometimes you think the glaze is going to fill it, it's usually not. So one lesson learned. I still like it though. I'm going to use it for me. Speaking of plates, this is a plate that I made quite a while ago, and I like it. I really like it. It's nice and thin. It's a nice plate, but the only thing about the plates, I think, for me, is what's the point of a plate this size, one plate? Most people don't want one plate. You want a set. And this is just one plate. So I've had it for several years now. Along the same lines of plates, this is one that I made also several years ago. And I've got these little tiny handles on it. Now, that makes no sense. The plate is not big enough to require handles. I don't really know what I was thinking. It's a nice lotus though, and again, I still like the plate, but lesson learned. This one started out as a plate, and I don't remember everything. Something went wrong with it. I see it now here. Okay, so I cut out these sides, not glued them, but added them to the main part of the plate, but really none of that is really the problem here. And it has handles, which is fine. This is a little bit bigger. But for this one, what happened is the glaze, like these leaves are little separate pieces of clay, but the color of those leaves just did not work. I used a glaze called Copper Float, which I really like, but it did not turn out the way I expected. I tried to make these like vines, and the color, I put no color on them, just the color of the clay, and not happy with it. I think I might try to fire this one again, do something about these leaves and see if it works out. So I'm going to try it. Here is a design that didn't work, I think. It's a vase. Didn't really start out as a vase, but it ended up to be a vase. But here's the problem. This piece that sticks out like this, that's just not a good, just waiting to be broken. I mean, you can't think of that for everything that you make, because sometimes things are delicate and they might break. But in this case, it's like it's unnecessary. The glaze is nice. It's kind of cute, but I just think that's a bad design idea there. Another bad design is this one. This is a little picture frame, but I just put a piece of clay on the back, so it goes like this. And you could cut out your picture and put it in here, but this just looks ready to break. It's just, I think, not a good design idea. Okay, on to designs. This is a toothpick holder, which is cute. However, when you put the toothpicks in, they all sink down, and you can't you can't really get the toothpick out. So it's basically, it's just a little bit too high, too wide, too high. Then I have the opposite problem with these two little guys. I thought these were adorable. I still do. But they don't work for toothpick holders. They're too small. So when you put the toothpicks in, whoop, whoop, whoop. I mean, they kind of work, but until you start taking them out and stuff, and then they just fall out. So again, you need to think about the size for the function that the earpiece is going to take. And let's see, I want to show you, this is one that I really liked. Let me put the whole piece up here. This was a rabbit on a little treasure box, the Thinker. I really liked this one, and I'm okay with the glaze. What happened with this one is there's a crack right down here. It's also in the center here. Now, honestly, I don't remember when I made this what I may have done wrong. I suspect either I didn't compress the joints well enough, or that they were of a different consistency. So when you are joining two slabs, you don't want one that's too soft and one that's leather hard. You want them, best case, to be the same consistency. I'm not sure if that was the case or if I just didn't compress it enough. Either way, that's what happened. And this one, again, I like this. I made some stained glass inserts for this, and I put some white underglaze behind so that the glass would show up because it doesn't go all the way through. And it's okay, except the top here. See how that's like it doesn't really fit? That is because this is not really square. The reason why it is not really square is because I was in a hurry. I was in a hurry when I made it, and the clay was too soft. It was just too soft, and so it moved around and then came out that shape. Let's see. I think I have one more. Well, I have lots more that I could show you, but these are the ones that I picked for this little video. This is just a jar, and the problem with it is, and I mean, this could happen, but if it happens, then don't bother firing it, because then it's a waste of your glaze and your time, and what do you do with it? The little rim here, the little insert, is way too thin, and the biggest part though is it doesn't fit. So if you move it around enough, you can figure out which way it goes. But you can't do that unless you really work at it. So if I just go like this, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit until I move it around and find the exact position between the top and the jar that's going to fit. So these are just some things I've learned over time, and I thought it would be fun to show you some of these things, to maybe give you an idea based off one of these, or something that would or would not work, and just a few tips of things to think about when you're making things. Thanks for watching.